Hey up everyone, welcome to the Rugby League History channel. Today I'll be doing my tips for round 24 of the 2021 NRL Telstra Premiership. Last week I got 6 out of 8 right. Let me know in the comment section below how many you got right. Before I start these tips, just a word from our sponsor. This week it's Champa Cola. So do you like fizzy drinks? Do you like your soft drinks and all that? Then you should try considering Champa Cola. Champa Cola is a drink with no sweeteners and no artificial flavours or colourings, and it's a drink that you'll enjoy to the last drop. So next time you're at the shopping centre, ask for Champa Cola. Champa Cola, the drink of summer. So let's get into these tips for round 24. The first match is on Thursday night. It sees Newcastle up against the Gold Coast. Newcastle are in 7th, the Gold Coast are in 9th. Kind of funny actually, because I tipped the Gold Coast to come 9th this year. Newcastle's won their last 4 games in a row, and they've already qualified for the finals, but for Gold Coast this is must win. If they're any chance of playing finals this year, they have to win this game, so the pressure's on them to get a result. Newcastle have been playing quite well in those last 4 weeks. The Gold Coast have an outside chance of winning this game, but I just think that the way that Newcastle are travelling, that they'll win this match. I see them win by 1 to 12 points. I think it's going to be a good game, but I just see Newcastle getting on top over the Gold Coast. The first match on the Friday is New Zealand up against Canberra. It's Canberra in 10th up against New Zealand in 11th. Whoever loses this game is definitely out of the race for the finals as far as I'm concerned. New Zealand is still a mathematical chance of making the finals, but they have to hope that a lot of things go in their favour. And I watched the Canberra game last week against Manly, and I thought that first half their defence was spot on, but once again they faded in the second half. Canberra has a good record over New Zealand. They've won 4 of the last 5 encounters. This is a toss of the coin game. If I was doing a different video where I was actually in front of the camera, I would toss the coin, but I'll go for Canberra to win 1 to 12. And I'm not entirely confident. I'm pretty much only really going for Canberra because they have a good head-to-head record against New Zealand. So I think Canberra will win 1 to 12. The main match on the Friday, and I think it's the game of the round. It's Eastern Suburbs Sydney Roosters up against South Sydney. The oldest rivalry in Australian Rugby League goes all the way back to 1908, and the biggest rivalry in the NRL. It's East in 4th place up against South in 3rd place. South can either finish 2nd depending on results, but they can't finish any lower than 3rd. And East are in 4th, but if they're thinking about staying in the top 4, they have to really win this match. So this is another game where one team is going to be desperate for a result. The head-to-head between the two sides is pretty even. South Sydney's won the last 2 encounters. I watched the South against Penrith match. I think South blew a huge opportunity to make a statement. They started very well. That first half they were very good. It took 2 special tries to get the game back level, and in second half Penrith just had all the ball and they had all the possession, and they had some calls go their way, and South Sydney really never got back into the match. I am confident though in South getting a result in this match. Form goes out the window because it's a rivalry game, but I'm going to go for South to win 1 to 12 over East on the Friday night. I think South would have learned a lot from that Penrith match, and I think that they're going to put that into practice against East on Friday. The first match on Super Saturday is one for the ages. It's St George up against North Queensland. It's St George in 12th place up against North Queensland in 15th. St George have lost their last 6 matches. North Queensland have lost 10 in a row, and it equalled the club record for the worst losing streak in their history. I watched the game for North Queensland last week. At no point did I ever see them really beating Parry. They never really offered much an attack, and they didn't really show much heart, and they just looked like a beaten side. As opposed to St George, even though that they've been losing, they've still been scoring some points, and they did put up a bit of a fight last week. And this is another toss of the coin match, but I'll go for Saints to win 1-12. The head-to-head between these two sides is pretty even. There's been some close games, but I just think that out of the two sides, even though they're both losing, I think St George is playing slightly better, so I go for St George. The second match on Super Saturday is Cronulla up against Brisbane. It's Cronulla in 8th place against Brisbane in 14th. This is another game where one team is going to be desperate for a result. Cronulla have to win this game if they want to stay inside that top 8. Brisbane are pretty much just playing for pride at this stage. Cronulla were, I thought, quite good last week against West Tigers. This is a big chance for them to make another final series. Brisbane, even though they haven't been winning every game, they've been playing with a lot of heart in the last month or so. I will go for Cronulla to win. I know Brisbane beat them earlier this year, but I will go for Cronulla to win. I'll go for Cronulla to win between 6 to 8 points. I think it's going to be a very tight match. Could potentially be a bit of a high scoring match, but I'll go for Cronulla to win by 6 to 8 on Saturday. The final game on Super Saturday is Parramatta against Melbourne. Para's in 6th place at the moment. In the last 10 encounters between these two sides, Parramatta's won 4, Melbourne's won 6. And cast your minds back to earlier in the year, Parramatta were awful round 1 against Brisbane, and Melbourne beat South Sydney, and everyone was saying Melbourne's going to win 50 plus, Parramatta don't stand a chance. And round 2, Parramatta played one of the games of the year and managed to beat Melbourne. I'm not saying it's going to happen on this occasion, but I'm pretty sure the Parramatta players will be looking back at that game and going, when we actually do the right things, we're a chance of beating anyone, and then they proved that in round 2. I will go for Melbourne though. I think with Melbourne, the head coach Bellamy, he's not going to play full strength sides until week 1. He's going to be leaving players out. I'm not too sure who he's going to leave out for this match, but even when they leave players out, they've still got state of origin representatives and other internationals in there. So I'll go for Melbourne to win between 14 to 20 points on the Saturday night, and I think Parramatta will stay in 6th place there. The first match on the Sunday is Manly Warringah up against Canterbury. It's Manly in 5th against the 2021 Wooden Spooners Canterbury Bankstown. Manly have won the last 5 encounters between the two sides, but Manly, the pressure's on them to get a result in this match because they desperately want that 4th place. They want that second bite of the cherry. I'll go for Manly to win 13 plus in this match. I'll keep it sweet. I think Manly will be way too good for Canterbury Bankstown. And the final match to close out the round, it's the biggest rivalry in the NRL. If you ask some people, it's not a fucking rivalry. It's Penrith against West Tigers. Penrith are in 2nd. West Tigers are in 13th place. Penrith have a good record over West in the last, you could see, couple of years. They've won 7 of the last 10 encounters against West. And West did get the win over them earlier in the year, but Penrith had 9 players out, I think, through state of origin. So not really much to write home about there. Penrith, I think, will probably rest 1 or 2 players for this match because I don't think that they're going to win the minor premiership, and coming 2nd or 3rd, there's not really any point because there's no home ground advantage. Everyone's in Queensland. So I think they might rest 1 or 2 players for this match, but I still see Penrith winning this game 13 plus. I think they'll be too good for West Tigers. I think that they've just got too much firepower, and they're very impressive second half against South Sydney. So anyway, that's me tips for round 24 of the 2021 NRL Telstra Premiership. Before I go, I thought I'd just talk about something which happened in the week. Now, this is about a YouTuber by the name of How Are You? And he said some things, and I just want to sort of make a statement about those things and what he said, and I want to just have a bit of a talk about that. So, anyway, I was on one of Nick from Australia's late night podcasts or whatever have you, and I was asked a question by Champa Videos, and he asked, do you rate Alpha the YouTuber as a good YouTuber or not? So I says, I didn't rate him, and I believe that he pays for views and subs. And then out of nowhere, this lad on the chat by the name of How Are You said that I'm jealous. Well, jealous of what? That someone has more views or more likes? That means naught to me. So anyway, I was later sent a message on one of my videos by this How Are You, and he sarcastically said that my videos are high quality, and instead of filming on a potato, I'm now filming me voice with some daft pictures over the top of it. And then he called me cowardly for not showing likes or dislikes on my videos. I want to say that I disabled the dislike and like button because of trolls. The likes of Dylan Wilson, Jacob Glegg, everything West Tigers. Sometimes I'd be doing a video, and by the time I publish it, there's already 20 dislikes on it, and it just got fucking ridiculous. So I decided to get shot of the likes dislikes feature, and I blocked those people, and I've had no issues since. I am aware my videos are not the same quality of Alpha's because, for starters, I don't have what he has. I have a busted iPhone. He has laptops, computers, editing software, you name it, he's got it. So it is unfair to compare me on that level. I stand by my belief that Alpha pays for advertising, views and subs. That doesn't make me jealous, that's just my opinion. You see that I'm living rent-free in your head? The only reason why you might think that is because you've made these accusations, and of course I'm going to respond and I'm going to see something back. I always find it funny when you get people like this, especially this How Are You, who doesn't show his face, and most of his videos on YouTube don't show his face, and we don't know who he is. I find it funny that these people never show their face and their real name, but then they call you cowardly. And I've always found that funny, and that's something that I've always thought about in the past. At the end of the day, this How Are You, he could be a 10-year-old living in his mother's back bedroom just trolling me, but at the end of the day, I'm going to defend myself, and I stand by my beliefs, and I stand by the fact that I believe Alpha is someone that pays for views and subs. I'm aware that maybe some people on this channel are subscribed to Alpha, but that's just my opinion, and I'm going to stick to that. But anyway, that's me round 24 tipping video. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, let me know in the comment section below. Anyways, this is Rugby League History signing off, and I'll catch us all later in the next one. Tatty bye for now.